welcome back. It is a Table Talk Tuesday here on Liquid Lunch on NEWSMAX TV. I'm John TABACCO. We're coming to you live as we do every day, noon to 2 Eastern, from the Question Tequila Studios. We're our own little outpost studio here in downtown Manhattan. Just down the street is the New York Stock Exchange, where things are looking nicely today, in the green again, well above that 27,000 number that I've been telling you was the new support level. And we could bounce off here with some good news out of those China trade talks. Bitcoin at 9,300, up almost 25% in the last 2 weeks, and great things are happening there with Bitcoin and altcoin. We're going to have Drew Taylor from the Wild West Crypto Show and Manny Alejandro, our consigliere here on Liquid Lunch, reporting to us live from the Cosmopolitan Hotel in Vegas, where all the movers and shakers of crypto are. And the movers and shakers are also in the studio when we have Bill Cortese here. Bill is a veteran Republican strategist. He's a Marine veteran, served our country honorably, admirably, and he's always here for us when we need him. You've been filling in for Frankie well.
I'm trying.
He should
I'm
be
trying.
nervous.
Those are some big shoes to fill, some big fedoras to fill, so I'm trying.
I mean, you dress better. You're taller. You have better posture.
I try.
And, he's a good-looking guy, but, I mean, you might have him there, too. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, Frankie, he should be worried. He could be the Wally Pip of Liquid
That's all right.
Lunch.
I'm keeping the sea warm, but he'll be back. He'll be back.
No. I'm kidding. I miss my buddy. I hope he got his fill of mozzarella and red wine while he's touring Italy with the family.
I hope he's bringing something back.
Yeah, he should bring us something back.
Something,
When he went on his honeymoon to Aruba, he allegedly sent us all postcards from Aruba, but none of them arrived. No one got even a postcard, so.
Yeah, my birthday present, the same thing he told me.
It's
the
in the mail.
It's in the mail.
Catch you later.
Yeah.
But Bill, thank you for joining us again. I want you to take a look at this. We had Fernando Uribe here. He's a professor at Bergen Community College in New Jersey. He's talking about the left-wing media and how they make up these lies and they're programming our kids' brains. This is a little compilation we put together of the left-wing media when you think they would be cheering that we got the #1 terrorist. Here's the narrative they're putting out to America.
Bothered me a little bit some of what the president did in providing detail about taking back to the United States pieces of Baghdadi's body. It bothered me a little bit hearing the president talk about some of that Syrian oil being ours, right? Because that's what inspires some extremists.
I wonder here if this type of killing only reinforces the ideology of Baghdadi's followers.
Are you saying it's irresponsible?
I think it is irresponsible. I think it puts sources at risk, and it's unnecessary.
There's a long trail ahead of him actually finally releasing details, explicit details, some of which sort of echoed, and frankly, the crudeness you would often expect to hear maybe from ISIS about the whimpering, screaming Baghdadi pinned down in a sealed tunnel.
Called him a dog, whimpering, crying. He wanted ISIS's followers to see him like that.
Margaret, this is
Would you advise this?
This is piling on it.
I don't know. They can't just say, thank God our president is protecting us. They have to talk about, he said body parts, and did he say the body parts? Billy, you were in the fog of war, okay? And you know what it means to take on an enemy. And when we kill the enemy, I want their followers to know that they went down crying and screaming and whimpering like a dog. It breaks their spirit, doesn't it?
This is just Trump derangement syndrome times 10. I mean, this is insanity. When you look at Jamie Lee Curtis tweeted out, well, dogs are loyal, and Max Boot, who is allegedly a conservative national security guy, talking about how he's actually brave. Al-Baghdadi was actually brave by blowing himself up. I mean, this is just insanity. It's insanity. You don't have to agree with the president. You don't even have to support the president, but you can support. Listen, cheer for the country, cheer for what we did. I think all of us. I came down here to Ground Zero when Osama bin Laden was killed. We partied all through the night. We were happy. You know why? Because a few blocks from here, some of us lost family. Some of us had family down there on 9/11. And you know what? You can be happy that evil people like this are brought to justice. But the fact that they can't give Trump, this isn't even all about a win or a loss. Just give the guy credit. He gave the green light. Give the guy credit. Let's move on.
Yeah, I mean, you would think this is the one instance where the left-wing media could say, good job. Instead, they're crying now also about, well, he didn't tell Nancy Pelosi. Well, I thought he said it best. He said, why would I tell Nancy Pelosi? She's a leaking machine.
Well, it's true. Adam Schiff, I mean, you know everything that goes through Adam Schiff. And you talk to anybody on the Hill, they know he'll walk into briefings, walk right out and give it to the press. I mean, you can't trust some of those people, but that's even besides the point. The fact is we brought a very evil man. And if you want to talk about evil, go look at the videos of what they did to these people, what ISIS did across Syria, what they did across Iraq. It's inhumane what's happened. And because Trump, listen, Trump can be very, the adjectives he uses are probably a little bit over the top, but you know what? I'm okay with him being over the top with something like this.
I like his adverbs too, like bigly.
His adverb,
you know what I mean? I like bigly. That was a good one. He just makes them up as he goes along.
That's it.
But you know, when you think about like mental intelligence, right? He's telling the followers, hey, we blew your man to smithereens. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was nothing left. And you got this guy, I don't even know who that guy was, talking about, oh, what did he have to say about the body parts? Let him know. We blew him to pieces. There were a couple of arms and legs maybe floating around that we brought back, but we had plenty. And, you know, like, we don't need as much DNA as we got.
And you know what? This guy suffered a quick death. The people that he killed, the tens of thousands that are dead because of him, the captured pilots that he drowned to death, the people he lit on fire alive. I mean, they weren't even subjected to a quick death. So
he captured like an American aid worker. He kept her as a sex slave.
Right, which they actually, Kayla Mueller, they actually named the operation after her, in her honor.
Right.
And so, again, you don't have to agree with Trump. You don't even have to support Trump, but you can say, listen, this was a good thing. This was a good job. We all did that when President Obama gave the okay to take out Osama bin Laden. And what's fair is fair. But this is kind of crazy, over the top. And again, it kind of shows the difference in people's outlooks on national security, on fighting terrorism. Is that they don't want to call terrorists a dog because it's it's over the top. On the other side, we just took out the ISIS spokesman the day after we took out al-Baghdadi.
I mean, the last time Donald Trump really referred to someone as a dog, I think it was Rosie O'Donnell.
And I think he was very clear it was only Rosie O'Donnell.
Right, and he said it was only Rosie O'Donnell. So calling Baghdadi a dog is almost an insult to Rosie. You know what I mean? At least she's an American. Baghdadi was a murderer. Rosie, may have murdered her career a few times, but I mean, I think she's still his favorite dog. And then there was some news that one of our canines that chased Baghdadi down got injured in the thing. And you were telling me right before we came on that there was some tweets about the dog.
I think the president tweeted out a picture of, I think it was a Belgian or a Dutch shepherd, who he said he declassified, who was involved in this. But the story goes that this dog was the one who set chase after al-Baghdadi before he blew himself up and was injured. But I hear the dog is recovering, along with a couple of our special forces soldiers as well who were involved in that raid. And so there we go. I think it's
there. We go.
There we go.
Okay, we got it in.
So for anyone who says that females can't be involved in special operations, well, this is a female.
A
female shepherd, and so they do some great work. Any of us that have trained with them know what they're capable of and what they bring on the battlefield, which is pretty amazing stuff. And so it's listen, man's best friend on and off the battlefield.
And I'm sure there were men and women of our fighting forces who were all parts of this team that brought the intelligence and the death to the number one terrorist in the world. He was caught at the end of a tunnel. Not where you want to be, according to Trump. And we're at the end of this segment, but Bill Cortese is always here for you. Billy, thanks for joining us.
John, thanks so much.
Thanks for giving you special insights. He's a Marine veteran. He's a Republican strategist, and he's always here for us when we need him, just like you're always there for us. Stay right there. Shireen Kudosi is coming on, and she's going to talk about how this is being interpreted and accepted in the Muslim community. And it's an important community right here in the U.S., and her insights are always welcome, just like you're always welcome. Now shake up a cold drink, watch these commercials. We'll be back right after this.